Hi guys, alright, today I just wanted to do a video talking about God's will and God's plan for our lives and stuff like that. I just hope whoever watches it is encouraged. Like, I'm no motivational speaker or anything like that, but I just got really led to make a video about this. So yeah, this is mainly for people who still feel like they need to trying to find out the meaning of life and stuff like that. So yeah, just so I don't like ramble on and like repeat myself like mentally in my head, I've like kind of divided what I want to say into like 4 different sections. The first point is that you are significant and the devil's a liar. 2 is that God has amazing things planned for your life. 3, you don't only live once, and let all you do be for the glory of God. So yeah, I'm going to start off with the first point, that you are significant. I think often, like, when we feel like we want to do something inspirational or help impact someone's life, like, the devil will come in and like put all these like doubts and insecurities in our head, saying, oh, you can't do it, you're useless, and all this other stuff. And most of the time, like, unfortunately, it does actually work. So then we become discouraged and feel like we can't do stuff, and we start questioning like what our abilities and what we can do and stuff like that. But I just wanted to let whoever like who feels that way, that God can use anyone for His glory, and you are significant. Yeah, God can really use anyone. Like, I was just thinking, Saul, who's obviously known as Paul now, but before, like, he used to persecute Christians, kill them, everything like that. And then he himself, like, obviously through the conversion and whatnot, in my opinion, it became like the biggest apostle, because he just endured like endured so much, and then while in prison, like, writing all these letters to the Corinthians, Philippians, and all of that. So yeah, for someone who can go to like persecuting Christians to then like laying down his life for them, like, God can use anyone for His glory. So yeah, and it's easy to think that, oh, because I don't know, you're not famous, or maybe but by other people you're not really considered important and stuff, like, you feel like you can't really make a change and a difference to anyone else's life, but you can, and you're God's masterpiece. Like, you shouldn't ever feel scared to do something because you feel like you don't have what it takes, but God's already had a plan for you for what you wanted to do, and whatever it is that you do want to do, and if it is God's will, and the Spirit in you, He's already installed. Like, the same God that resurrected Jesus is the same God that lives in you, so you really can do anything through Christ. So yeah. Second point, God has amazing things planned for you. So yeah, I think God has a specific plan for each of our lives, and I think if we just use our faith and like really trust in Him, and I mean like really trust Him, because it's one thing to say, oh, I trust in God, but I don't know, say you had some massive plan for your life, and then God just said to you one day, like, trust in me, submit to me, and I'll give you better things. Like, are you really willing to drop everything you've worked for to go with what God's saying? Because God's will is always better than what we actually think it is. So yeah, I just think we weren't born on accident. God did put us on this earth for a reason. You just have to kind of ask yourself, like, are you living or existing? And I was just watching Francis Chan's video. He's like one of my biggest inspirations. But yeah, and it's called Balance Beam. I'll put the link down for anyone who wants to watch or anything. But he was basically saying how we get so scared to live life for God, and we just stay in our comfort zone and never really branch out to other people. But at the same time, we still expect to go to heaven and stuff when we haven't used our life to glorify Him and stuff. So yeah, I think we should just, I don't know, get rid of like every doubt and fear and insecurity and just be grateful for God, because He has just got amazing things planned for us, and it's just up to us to keep our faith in Him and yeah, just believe in Him and what He will do for us. So yeah, I don't know, like, I don't think it's too late to fulfill God's plan for your life, whatever it may be. If you come before God with the mentality of, okay, God, I just want to be great for you, I just submit everything to you. I think it's too late if you have that kind of mentality. But then if you, I don't know, have the mindset, oh, well, there's always tomorrow, then you need to like wake up and just realise that tomorrow isn't always guaranteed. And then if you died today, like, would you be satisfied with how you lived your life? Like, could you actually stand before God and say, yeah, like, God, I used everything you gave me on this earth to give you glory? Like, would you really be able to say that? But I think you should just like examine like what you're good at and your passions and your hobbies and stuff, because it's so amazing how God will just use what you think is so insignificant in your life and use that to become like, I don't know, the foundation of your life to glorify him and stuff. So like, even if it is just like hobbies, because like people like Tim Tebow, I'm not American, so I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I do know he's some like really famous American footballer who often like uses his platform as a football player to glorify God. Like I remember I think you know those black things that he wrote John 3:16, and because of that, I think there was like 92 million Google searches on that. So that's just an example of like how we can use ourselves to give God glory. So yeah, and also Joan Million. I love Joan Million. But yeah, so I think even though you might just feel like, oh, I'm not good at anything, what can I do? Like, I'm useless. Like, I think just to remember, God doesn't want your ability, he wants your availability. If you just give yourself to him, he will like amaze you in ways you can never even imagine. So yeah, third point, which I really want to stress, is that you don't only live once. Like on Twitter, or maybe in other forms of life as well, but there's this just whole phenomenon about YOLO, or you only live once, which is so not true. But for the people that use you only live once as kind of an excuse to just live recklessly and just do all this stuff because you only live once, like, that is so not true. Like, you will have to give an account for everything you've done on earth at some point. Matthew 12 verse 36. But yeah, you just get out of the mindset, oh, you only live once, blah blah blah, because I think it's that kind of mindset that puts people in the frame of, oh well, it's my life, I'm going to do what I want. But it's not your life. Like, your body is a living sacrifice to give God glory, and if you're not doing that, then you can't, on the day of judgment, you can't really stand before God and be like, oh well, I went to church, blah blah blah. God's going to ask you, did you use everything I gave you to like give my name praise and glory? So yeah, I don't know, I think sometimes we can be a bit stubborn. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and like, oh, I always do what God wants from life, blah blah blah. Like, I am stubborn as well, and sometimes I'm foolish enough to think that my will's better than God's, when really, in actuality, it's nowhere close. Like, I think God has all these amazing things planned for us, but in our head, our little small mind, we just think, oh, we always know best, blah blah blah, but we don't. So yeah, God always knows best, and if your way's not working, try God's. His will work. So yeah, you're sitting like, I'm not saying like God's just gonna tell you, you're gonna pray to him and he's gonna, right, this is what I want you to do, blah blah blah. Like, he'll reveal things to you that you'll start to put the pieces together and just realise, okay, this is why I'm here. So yeah, the fourth and final point is that in everything you do, let it be for the glory of God. So like I said before, like, your body is a living sacrifice, and just use everything God's given you, like your talents, your gifts, everything, to just bless others. And just one of my favourite scriptures, Matthew 5 verse 16, it's just like, let your light shine before others so they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. So this is like really key, especially if you associate yourself with non-believers, non-Christians, whatever. It's just like, just live in the way that Christ would want you to, so then even they will just look at you and be like, wow, like, I want whatever he's got, which is obviously Jesus. And I think we just need to humble ourselves and remember God is God, like, God that created the whole universe and all these amazing things. Like, he knows what he's doing, like, he planned out our life before we were even born and stuff like that. So yeah, a couple of videos I really do recommend watching is The Skip, guys. I hope whoever watched this video is encouraged by it. Obviously, like, I don't know, I'm not really used to speaking and talking like this or anything, but I just felt really led by God to do so. And yeah, if it just helps even just one person kind of just reevaluate things, and I don't know, maybe reconnect with God or get closer to God, or try feel like the need to seek him more and understand him, then yeah, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, just last point, let go of every doubt, fear and insecurity, and be grateful for God. Peace.